A week ago, they deployed the first Marine Expeditionary Unit, which is composed of over 2,000 U.S. combat troops, U.S. Marines, who have been sent to the Middle East for a potential land invasion of the Kharg Island. And this is where the Kharg Island thing comes in. So essentially, I want to give you a primer of the whole thing. It's a small piece of land that is around 50 nautical miles from the coast of the Iranian mainland and is connected to the Iranian mainland through this pipeline. It produces around 90% of Iranian crude oil exports, and they export it to the rest of the world from this island. Now, the Americans are keen on taking over Kharg Island, and specifically for a singular purpose, and that is to control the Strait of Hormuz, so that they could dictate the next set of terms in this war. Now, what's possibly in the play here is that Trump is going to pursue this high-stakes operation to occupy this land, and in order to save face and say that Iran hasn't forced out of this conflict, rather it is we who are going to dictate the next term of this war by pressuring the Iranians into a corner. We now control their exports, we now control the strait, and that could possibly lead to an off-ramp. Now, this escalation is probably going out of control because they're also deploying an additional military unit, which is the 82nd Airborne Division, which is a 3,000 soldier combat brigade. It is a rapid deployment unit who are always ready for deployment across the world, anywhere in the world within 48 hours, within 18 hours actually. They're moving in additional 5,000 troops. They're talking about bringing in another 10,000 troops in addition to the airborne units and the current existing the U.S. Marines. What's likely here is that they're going to pursue some sort of an amphibious operation once the appropriate combat power has been marshaled into the region and it's in position for such an operation. Personally, I can't actually see how this works out for the US, because in order to get to Kharg Island, you have to first cross the strait. And once you cross the strait, even if you manage to cross the strait, you're entering a no man's land in the Persian Gulf. And there has to be layers of protection that you offer to your combat troops there, who are en route to the island, who are going to conduct these war operations in order to keep them safe from Iranian Shahed drones and their cruise missiles and whatnot. You need to provide layers of protection for that to happen. And let's say even if you get to take over the island somehow, it will be very, very tough to keep hold of the island. And even if you do, in the worst case scenario, what it would possibly end up is like a Bay of Pigs type situation where the Iranians get several American POWs, they take American prisoners, and they hold more leverage against the United States on the negotiating table. And the escalation ladder, as I said, there is an infinite potential for escalation in this war. Because at the end of the day, if the Iranians kill the American soldiers or take them as prisoners, this could serve as another reason for America to de-escalate. At least that is the logic in operation here, where the Americans are saying that, hey, we're not giving in. We're the world's most powerful military. We cannot give in. We have to escalate this conflict in order to de-escalate, in the sense that we're going to dictate the terms. We're not going to let the Iranians dictate the terms to us.